All right, guys. Welcome to
Good
another
there?
podcast.
Good?
Yeah, I laughed a little bit because I just remembered you.
You're protected.
Yes,
That's weird that made you laugh. You're weird. You might need help.
probably,
Probably.
but
Definitely?
yes, maybe.
No, just yes.
But anyway, we're gonna talk about some of the things that we saw recently. One of them being the Black Panther movie, which
Yeah, that was a movie I saw. There's not much to say. The first half was good, entertaining, lively. The second half wasn't as good. It was suffered a lot of the same issues as other Marvel films do. A lot of people seem to think Black Panther had a good villain. I disagree. It was like the same situation with a lot of other Marvel films where it's like the villain is the good guy but evil. So, that was cool. Yeah, another one of those.
he wasn't really that good of a guy, though. I mean, yeah, sure.
T'Challa?
Oh, I thought you meant the bad guy.
Yes, he was the good guy, as in he was an evil version of Black Panther, as literally the same set of abilities. It was just not Dark Black Panther.
Oh
That's
yeah.
all that happened there. It's like how Iron Man, one had Ironmonger, how Doctor Strange had evil Doctor Strange, or
Dormammu.
no, it wasn't Dormammu.
Really?
Dormammu shows up in the film, but he's not the main antagonist throughout the film. He's like who they're trying to get to come out, and they fail to get Dormammu out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you get a brief moment where you get directed Dormammu. And then what other Marvel film did the same thing? Captain America's first film was the same thing, where it was just literally the guy who took the same thing as Steve, but he was bad, so it was bad version of him.
And Hulk and Abomination.
Yeah. So it was just a lot of like
Spider-Man. Venom.
that's not a Marvel film. That's the same thing. Yeah, after that, his homecoming was the Vulture, which is not evil Spider-Man. Unfortunately, it's an old man who's got a really nice home saying, "I need money for my family." It's like, do you?
Yeah, I mean,
You can't. You seem like you're pretty set, my dude. You could probably
maybe it's on that house costs money. They're trying to get a new pool.
just theoretically to upkeep that lifestyle that you had thus afforded yourself. Look, I get it. Vulture's your favorite Marvel villain, and you really liked him because you're a bird. You're like, I get that, yo. I have bird problems too, but like,
What
Chill.
bird problems does she have? She's not gonna get a life of crime just to get a bigger cage.
you don't know her. Look at her. Do you think she's satisfied right now in that space, confined, trapped, alone?
We could just open the cage at that point. She doesn't have to go into a life of crime.
Yeah, that's what you think. You don't understand the fundamental issues of her and why she relates to the Vulture. Anyways,
Well, for Black Panther, I just did not enjoy the movie, like, in its entirety. I didn't like how they used the music. The music was just generic, beating drum stuff and occasionally rap stuff. Killmonger just fought like a regular ass guy. I don't know, maybe that's just, I've watched too much anime or played too many video games. I kind of like when there's a little bit of characteristics in the character
the
based on what
action
they
in the
do.
movie was not as good as action in other films. I would say Captain America: Winter Soldier still has probably the best action scenes of all of them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair thing to say.
And there was like had a lot of motion blur in Black Panther, which was unenjoyable.
Yeah, the first scene almost made me throw up a little bit.
Oh, and in the trucks outside in the dark,
No, in that
and the
oh right, that was
yeah, there was that
I
scene.
forgot that was a thing.
That one wasn't very good just because I couldn't tell what was happening in some portions because it's a dark scene. Black Panther's in a dark outfit, and there was a lot of camera movement. But no, there was the one in the underground casino.
That was the one. Like, I know everybody got like super hyped about the wig thing, but before that, there was just a bunch of shaking of the camera. Shit was just happening, and it was just like this is starting to make me sick.
It could have used some lighter shots to balance that out because the spear choreography looked good, but like it was hard to really enjoy it with the camera angles that were being used. But the outfits were nice. Like generally, this movie had all around good costume work and visual appeal when we're not talking about special effects, like practical effects that were used, costume design. A lot of the sets just
Yeah, it was. I do agree with that. I will say that some of the outfits during certain scenes kind of bothered me, like the car chase scene where the bad guys or Claw and his men were shooting at the car, and then I forget what that one woman's name is, the bald one that threw the spear into the car.
Nadia or something like that.
Yeah, when she got on top of the car and then they were still shooting at her and she didn't get shot, there was like no explanation as to how she didn't get shot.
I mean, this movie was full of like dumb kind of contrivances like that that you just deal with the plot, like the child getting thrown off the cliff, they're not getting shot, the car exploding, the other girl just like sliding on the perfectly maintained smooth car, while everything else was just completely wrecked around it.
Which were very unnecessary because you could have easily just explained things like they shot the wheel, or that blast was strong enough to shoot out the wheel, or she had some type of special armor that stopped her from getting shot. But
That's fine.
I wasn't okay with it.
Such is life. Such is the film. It exists. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't even necessarily great, but it was a good step in the right direction with a lot of potential for the future. I just wish I wish Marvel at this point will play less safe with a lot of their films. You know, they're very middle of the road, very meh. They don't make any harsh commitments one or the way or the other. I know a lot of people seem to really like Killmonger for like his
Personality, I guess.
I
Because
no like
his
they
plans
like
were dumb.
they like what he like kind of represents because he doesn't kind of really represent anything. Because the film does a poor job of building up the character. I mean, you get that his dad died, was killed by his brother, and
His
then
mom was nowhere to be found.
whatever. Yeah, he had a mom, I guess. And then he found out about Wakanda after his dad died. Somehow didn't really talk about it, and he was in the army and did a whole bunch of like
Murder stuff and
like high
tattooing
level.
himself.
They weren't tattoos. High level stuff. And like just government takedowns and stuff like that. And then that's it. That's really all you get to know about his past. You get a brief scene where he like hallucinates after taking the friggin' herb that gives him the strength of the Black Panther,
Which I kind of dislike.
and he talks to his dad a little bit about how Wakanda is the one that's lost and not them. It should have found them, but like you don't really get enough for him to be like, yeah, well, let's kill everybody and take over. Black people suffered enough. Like that's a mentality that's easy to like for people like, oh yeah, I kind of get where he's coming from and all that, but like the character itself and the build up there isn't there. I guess you can say like it's not necessary, but like I don't know, that just feels like really poor writing, and it feels like he's kind of scapegoating that whole like reasoning to just further his own like issues that he has with himself, his anger and his like daddy issues from his dad being killed. So it just feels kind of weak and floppy, especially since
All they had to do was like take the body, and he would have never found out that his father was killed by another Wakandan.
no, I was going to say that there's no real actual conversation about anything else there. It's not like that's a conversation that didn't exist in Wakanda before he got there. It was a conversation that existed that had pushed back and people supporting it, but no one had really pushed the ball one way or the other. And if he wanted to come in as someone with a real world outside experience, he could have pushed that conversation somewhere, and then gone too far in another way after you see a little bit more about why he wants that, why he represents that, so on and so forth, instead of just saying yeah, let's do it. Oh, and I'm the king now, so we're gonna do it. Let's get it started, and then
Talk about like, oh man, you guys are all up here being royalty, not caring about your people, and yet we don't really see much of Wakanda in general, except a couple of people walking. You don't know what they think about, how they feel about this random system where, oh yeah, we can have like different kings. All they have to do is beat the current one in a fist fight. Do they get to be king? Like, do they get the
If
chance
they
to challenge?
beat T'Challa,
Do they get the challenge to T'Challa? Like, does someone just say, "Oh man, I can kick T'Challa's ass. Let me go up to the royal people and just say, hey, I think I could beat you up. Fight me, nerd."
well, I mean, it's they have the day of challenge when he's crowned as king, and the people from the different tribes can send someone out to represent the tribes and have a chance to take the role of the title. And
So
that's what.
So the city that they show like one or two scenes about, T'Challa trying to convince that one woman to stay with him. What?
Not
Yeah. Are those just like different tribes being like meeting at that one city, or
I mean,
do they
the
have their
four
own
tribes
places?
live together. They tell you at the beginning. The four tribes live in the heart of Wakanda, and then the fifth tribe lives in the mountains.
Okay. Still just, I don't know. I wish there was a little more emphasis on some of the people of Wakanda, because, or citizens of Wakanda, right? Right, Tess?
On world building,
Yes. I think Black Panther would have worked a lot better as a Netflix series. Kind of more episodes to build these things up, to give Michael B. Jordan's character a little more weight to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Because once again, the actors actually did a really good job. I like their performances and their in the way they made the characters seem a little bit entertaining. But the story at the same time just couldn't get me in.
yeah, it was just, I don't know. It had a lot of shortcomings, like the guy who betrayed T'Challa off the jump, stuff like that. Just weird things that it wanted to push forward, but didn't give enough time to develop, to establish. I mean, we know so little about Wakanda, and so little was told, and a lot of it was just kind of wished away as MacGuffins and magic, like the way vibranium works,
Yeah.
like the fact that like the whole R&D side just seems to be run by his sister and his sister alone, so you don't really know more about that. Like there is a lot that you could have shown since you're introducing pretty much an entire new city with full of characters. So I feel like it needs more time than other Marvel movies does to establish things, because Black Panther is about an entire, pretty much, country. Whereas, like, Iron Man, Captain America, Doctor Strange, none of them are about something as wide scale as that. They're about, like, people and personal events. Like even in Doctor Strange, where he goes to, like, the Temple of the Learning and his magical training, it's really just, all you need to know is there's the teachers there, there's the teachers' aides, and then there's the students. And you don't even have to focus on the students too much. You just focus on that. But they had to explain an entire world. And they introduced portions of that world, and all of them got time to develop, to kind of understand, and then they made them they made them centered, but not enough that you can understand where they're coming from. Like you get the one guy, he protects the border, and then you find out he's friends with T'Challa. They're good friends, they're good buddies.
Didn't they like grow up together?
Who knows? And then you find out that Claw killed his parents, and T'Challa's like, well, I'm gonna go catch Claw because we got a chance to catch him. And he's like, either bring him back dead or you bring him here alive, but don't let him get away again. And he's like, oh, I give you my word, I'll do my best, And then he fails due to sabotage that he was not expecting by another Wakandan, and then that guy comes back with the same dead body, and no question, he now follows that guy. Like he completely gives up on T'Challa purely based on the fact that he fails on his first go to get this guy that evaded the last king for 30 years, that got out of Wakanda on his own after bombing the place. The guy is clearly skilled, and this new king gets one chance, and he's just done with it.
Which is weird, because if you would have just like explained, especially since the guy who helped Claw get away showed up with that body, just, hey, that's the person who helped him escape. Why are you following him? Obviously he's planning something, because he helped him escape, and now he's just here with his dead body.
It's just a whole weird set of events that kind of just you have to either accept or ignore because they don't make sense narratively. But yeah, that's Black Panther. It's a movie that exists.
Do you think it was 3/5 of a movie?
What are you talking about?
You said. Remember when you said that?
Would be a great joke title for a review. That's all I said. It's a good joke title for a review. That's all there is to it.
Fair enough. All right. So what else have we been getting into? We haven't talked about Darling in the Franxx.
I know.
I've actually enjoyed the show. I've loved the art the most. Black. I forget what studio makes it. Is it
Studio Trigger.
Okay. Like the visuals for the beach scene that was in the latest episode was amazing. What was that?
An A1.
Oh, okay. The beach scene was amazing. The place that I forget the home base that they're at also has a lot of great places.
Plantation 16.
Yes. They also have a lot of great looking art there. You know.
Plantation 13. Code 16 is a hero, and Code 15 is Ichigo, if I remember correctly.
I think so. What was I saying? Oh yeah. The places there, I really just like the art of the series, and the story it's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's just something that's been a little enjoyable to watch.
I mean, I think the story is really interesting so far, and it's definitely one of those stories that provides more mysteries than answers as you proceed through it. Like, it's intentionally, vague, you know? You have a bunch of kids, and one of the questions they ask in episode 5 is, have any of the kids you've ever known grown up to be adults? And, we don't know what that means as viewers, but that there's definitely some hidden meaning there in the show. The kids don't know about kissing is one thing. They're living in a post-apocalyptic world, where you actually got to see one of the ruined cities in the last episode. And there's a lot of questions that are being put on the table that haven't been answered, so it's really intriguing to watch for that. But as it stands right now, the strength of the show is between the bonds and the relationships between all of the characters. You've got a wide variety of character personalities that all interact and have their own different past relations and everything like that. And they're all really interesting to watch together, especially Hero and Zero Two. Just seeing how those two interact, I think Zero Two is a very complex, interesting character, and I like to see how she changes and interacts, especially with Hero, because those two have a large influence on each other. Ichigo is a really great character too, where she's the leader of the team, but she has, her own personal things that makes you understand and appreciate that she's so young and burdened with such a task. Goro is a great partner to Ichigo. While he may not understand his own feelings at times, he is very good at being a clear mind when she needs one. Then you've got Zorone, you've got Kokoro, you've got a lot of just other additional characters that add different dynamics to the show, which are either good for comedic relief or good for pushing more interesting plots along. I just think it's a really well done cast, and the animation has been really good so far. Was that last week episode 6 or 7? I think no, last week was episode 7. Oh. Episode 6 was the week before that, because episode 6 pushed up the animation budget really high. It had a great crazy battle scene, and that was just really visually impressive. It was like they pulled up all the stops, and it turned out to be a really good episode. I really liked that one a lot. And then, I just really like Darling in the Franxx. I think it's probably my favorite anime right now.
The only gripe that I have with it is that there was a point where there was a lot of attention towards Hero, and it was like I forget what the male character's name is, the one who asked, do any of the kids ever become adults?
That was Zorone.
Okay. In the beginning of the series, there was a lot of, he was quick to always be angry at Hero or try to do some shit towards Hero, but, it's not a quick progression, but it seems like he's just a lot more friendlier with Hero, and
they were all friends, but, he was never aggressive. He was just show off.
He actually got into a fight with him, though.
it was never like really serious. Like Zoro is like a child, like an actual child in every sense of the word. He's just immature. He wants to be the best. He's always like, I'm the great Zoro, you know. That's why everyone can count on me. And Hiro was the kid to beat originally. Like they explained that throughout the show, like in episodes. Like, yeah, no, like back when they were all like just training and before they became pilots, Hiro was the guy. He was like looking out to be leader, but then when the time came, he couldn't pilot. So like Zero being the show off kid he is, you want to show up Hiro. And you know, now that Hiro's there and being able to do things, and his Hiro himself, the nice guy, he's a little bit more calm. The person with more aggression towards him is, I can't remember his name, it starts with an N, but the guy who failed the pilot, Strela,
or something like that.
maybe. The guy who failed the pilot, the Sterilizer with 02 and got injured.
Oh, he's just a little shit.
He's just, that's messed with his mind and everything. And he's just been, like, off and distant. And his partnership with his partner's all weird and shit. So, you know.
I do want to see where that goes.
Yeah, I'd be more cautious of that relationship than Jerome. Because Jerome just seems like a flighty kid who does whatever he wants. And
it was just a small gripe that, like, I didn't understand at first. So I was just like, oh, I don't really care for this relation and how quick we just turned from, oh man, I don't like this guy, I'm gonna fight him to the point, and then it's just like, oh, I guess we.
But he starts fights over everything. He starts fights with his own partner.
Not to the point where he's like actually punching them and stuff.
I mean, they didn't get to. I don't remember them getting to a serious fight at any point. Zero and Zero.
I feel like I have to look at that episode.
They argued for sure, and they pushed each other around. It did not seem something of bitterness, you know, just immaturity. Because I think Hiro was acting big too at that time. But yeah, anyways, Darling in the Franxx, it's a good show. I check it out. I recommend it.
Yeah.
It also has a really good soundtrack. It's like a really, really impressive soundtrack, and I really hope it actually comes out soon. It does sound like Sawano Hideki of Kill la Kill fame as far as soundtracks goes. It's a lot of the same beats, but I'm not sure if it's actually Sawano or not. I should check that out.
Alright. So I've been reading a lot of the Marvel books, and I've noticed that in a lot of the Marvel events, there's been this weird thing where the Marvel heroes don't actually save anybody. They kind of just fight random people or fight each other. I noticed that's just been one of those gripes that I've had just with Marvel in general, and wondering why that's not even a thing anymore. Do they do that in DC Comics? Just randomly fight people and not try to save anyone?
Don't know what you mean.
So, okay, example, Civil War 2, they kind of just fought.
That's Civil War 2. Like, use a regular example. Civil War 2 is what you put next to an asterisk, where the entire story is designed to be about them fighting each other and not saving people.
Well, the point of the series was, so hey, now that we know this thing, you know, or we have this guy who can see the future, we can use that to help save people.
That was the catalyst. That was not the point. The point is in the title. It's Civil War.
And I still hate that that's a thing. Like, I would have liked to see them try to actually use it to save people more.
Well,
they did it once or twice.
They did. And the entire first act was Captain Marvel using it to save quote unquote people from things that hadn't happened yet.
Then what was it? No Surrender, the current event. The event seems like it's just a matter of the Collector is trying to start a battle with this other guy that he betrayed not too long ago. They're using a certain set of heroes in order to just settle out their differences. So it's just, you know, another reason for two people to just fight each other. Weird. And the whole time it's just them just fighting.
I mean, is this another event though?
Yeah.
Well, if it's events, then the event's about something specific. Not wow, crazy, but not a book person. Not your standard book, which usually involves them saving someone.
But in like regular Civil War, there was still a little bit like the people that they were originally supposed to save and stuff like that still affected the story a little bit.
I mean, they were literally fighting in Civil War 2 about whether or not they should be saving people based on premonitions. So it's still like saving people as a baseline if you're gonna use that point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that in Civil War there was more interaction from those people that they were trying to save or trying to help. There was a lot more interaction with those people.
What are you talking about?
All right, for example, when She-Hulk was doing a case, I forget what it was for,
Is this a
but
side story or the main story?
well, that one was a side story.
If we're talking main story, are we not? Because I don't know Civil War 2 side stories. I only know Civil War 2 main story.
Civil War 2 side stories didn't really do much either.
You gotta do direct comparisons, otherwise you're skewing the results.
Fair enough. Alright, so let me see, main story. So, for example, in the main story of Civil War 1, when they do the final battle, and the people who, like, they start that fight in the middle of the city. Sorry, oh, and then the people in that city start saying, hey, what are you guys doing? You're fucking up our city. You're not actually helping anybody.
At the end of Civil War 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't done, like, to that kind of extent in Civil War 2.
I mean, it wasn't even like anyone else. It was like Civil War 2.
And it also in No Surrender. It was nothing like that.
No Surrender?
No, then I was telling you about
the Collector?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that's called.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm pretty sure Marvel still saves people. I don't think events are the best example because Marvel events are usually like more world-pressing events instead of personal events.
Well, that's what I was saying. That was just something I wanted to see more in my Marvel events.
Like smaller things?
Yeah.
Smaller scale?
Yes.
It's like the exact opposite purpose of an event. You're going to see smaller scale in the individual books. And it depends at that point on which character you're reading about. So it's like Marvel really likes to fuck around with cosmic stuff. You're not going to see it in those books. Like smaller scale is just not designed well. And Marvel, DC does have plenty of books that are like small personal tales. You saw the Superman book where he just went to a fucking bear. Like it's a thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's crazy. So Sega just put up recently, like yesterday, a Yakuza 6 demo for Yakuza 6 Song of Life, which is a game coming out in April.
I forgot that was a thing.
Super excited for it because Yakuza is a fantastic series. It's a lot of fun. It's like Grand Theft Auto, but you remove all the wasting time parts where you're like driving around cars and you're using guns, fuck that shit. You get that like hand-to-hand combat. It's really fucking cool. And the demo came up yesterday, but they just took it down apparently because users were able to unlock the full game just from the demo. So like that's
what?
Yeah, they wanted the demo to be ready, but people were able to unlock the full game by playing and downloading that demo for Yakuza 6. So it's been officially removed, and no one's sure how to, but like, hey, that was a 36 gigabyte demo, so like, it's not the most surprising news. 36 gigabytes for a demo, it's crazy. I really want that game to just come out already.
That sounds like that was just like a pre-download for the full game that ended up failing like horribly. Kind of like a pre-patch.
I don't know. I don't know. I really wish I could have played the game.
Wait, could you steal cars in Yakuza?
No, Yakuza has like really no driving sections unless it's like a specific driving section.
So wait, what's the Grand Theft Auto part?
Grand Theft Auto is an open world game where you're in a city. It's like your kind of environment. It's like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't think of Grand Theft Auto, I think of cars. I think Grand Theft Auto, and I think of like you're a person in the city running around doing missions for people in the city. I think Yakuza is a much more excellently told personal version of that, and that is a shortcoming turned into a strength, honestly. Where like Sega and Yakuza, that team does not have as much money as Rockstar.
Yeah.
Just because Rockstar is built on like towers and just the most money in the whole video game industry. I would bet, at least for like the console market kind of people, and the people competing there. The PC players like Blizzard and shit might have more money than them, but Rockstar does pretty well for themselves.
And they're not gonna let their main IP Grand Theft Auto is not getting any funding.
And what was I gonna say? So, to Sega, since they can't afford to do as much, what they do a lot of the time is they reuse a lot of assets from the last game they made. And that means you're pretty much playing in the same town every time you go back to Yakuza, but that means like when you're playing as the same characters in the same town, that time has gone by, you'll run into characters from the last game now that they're older, and like it kind of has like this familiarity to you as the player because it's those same things being used over again. So they take that weakness and they turn it into a strength, and it's like this really just like small, comfortable feeling that's created in this video game world to make it feel more real to you. You know, it's not. I don't see that in any other game really, where you're like, all right, Grand Theft Auto 4 to 5. You know, you're not back in the same city with people like, hey man, thanks for all those help those years ago. Now I can help you with this.
The closest I've seen with that, and even then,
not even Borderlands, nothing I can think of yet.
Oh no, Borderlands didn't. The closest I've seen where there were certain things like that was Infamous. And even then, you did it in a different city. It was just people from the last city would come to that same city and be like, hey, you helped me out with this one thing.
Yeah.
So, good shit.
It's a good way to be like, we can't necessarily make a new map every time we make a game, but we can make that one map really, really well realized. And it is. Kamurocho is a really well realized place, and I loved the feeling of going from Yakuza 0 to Yakuza Kiwami, and I'm looking forward to Yakuza 6.
It's one of those games that actually rewards you for playing the other games beforehand.
Yeah, it rewards you for doing all the side stories, too. Because those characters from those side stories will have you... You still didn't get to the one side story I told you about, but you should have.
Dude, that game burned me out real quick because
it's so good.
It's not the game's fault. It's literally my fault because once they say, hey, there's things that you can do, I'm like, I'm gonna do all those things. But like, they're just like, but you can also do the main story. It's like, but there's other things to do, and I want to do those other things.
There's a lot of the game has a lot that you can do and can get distracted by. So you really have to plan your play for the game. You know, like there'll be points where I would be playing and I would be like progressing through the story, and then I would be put in like a solid 10 hours of the game. I haven't progressed through the story at all. I've just been doing some stories for like the last 10 hours of gameplay.
That's what I've been doing.
Like it's just they're really funny. They're really good. And they're just really wacky. And I really like that. I really like the game. And I think you should get back to Kiwami at some point because man, the badass dad sub story that you haven't gotten to yet. Like you have to get to it. It's hilarious. I think it's like designed specifically for you.
Like, okay, so here's the thing. So basically, I would be walking towards the main mission, and then I'll hear Majima, and I'm like, "Where is that motherfucker? I got to find him."
Oh yeah,
fight him.
You got the worst one to get like distracted on, didn't you? Because Majima everywhere is like a system that's like only in that one where it's just like he just shows up and he's like, "Yeah, do you want to fight me?"
And you get things for it. And I'm just like,
"Yeah, that's how you feed your skill trees, man."
And I'm just like, "Oh yeah, I gotta find that guy, get my rewards."
It's a really cool game. I really liked it.
And then I'm like on the other side of the city now because I was looking for him.
Man, last year had a lot of good games.
Yeah, it really did. And
Zero and Kiwami came out that year. Gundam Versus came out that year.
Persona 5.
Persona 5 was fun for a while, but then I realized it's like a shitty Pokemon in the battle system, and that was not fun. Like I don't care for like monster collecting games like that because like it's so boring after a while because none of them really have any personality or flavor, so I don't care about any of them.
Fair enough.
And then from there, it's like, weakness to strength charts, and you just kind of follow that kind of formula. Like Fire Emblem is like monster collecting, except each of them is like a fully like fledged character, and I can get behind that a little bit more.
Fire Emblem Heroes was the only Fire Emblem game that I'll actually enjoy in a while.
That's fine. It's not for everyone. At least you tried it, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So stuff like that. Like Tokyo Mirage Sessions merged Fire Emblem and
you still need to do a playthrough of that.
and Shin Megami Tensei, and I liked that game because we got Fire Emblem characters as the monsters you collect, and you don't really collect them. You get one per party member, and that made them more, personable. And that's why I could be more involved and care about their actual progression than just, oh, I have a bunch of this random piece of trash. I guess I can just throw it away.
So if it comes out for the Switch, how many hours are you gonna put into Tokyo Mirage Session?
I mean, it took me 60 hours to beat the game last time. I might go for a couple more hours on top of that. 100% it.
I'll definitely think about getting it.
You should buy it.
For the Switch.
Everyone should buy it.
Like from the small things I've seen, it seems like a pretty fun game, and it's very. And those little like quick time events where you're just playing parts of the song and still doing damage and stuff.
Yeah, those are awesome.
The amount you can just link in that is
my
ridiculous.
God, that game's combo system in battle was amazing. I loved it. Oh my goodness. I gave it a really good battle system. It felt rewarding. Its presentation was awesome. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And then Xenoverse 2 got its big update, adding, the first time I think in the anime games in history where they've added the character before the character is like been there in the show. We got Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku in Xenoverse 2, and he hasn't had the show debut. I think the closest things we've ever had to that was in maybe one of the Storm games where we saw like either the fourth Hokage in 2 before like he actually done anything.
Yeah.
And then there was in Generations where we saw like the QB control mode that wasn't mastered yet. I think that had just happened in like the manga or something, or something like that. So that was pretty close. But like this is just straight up like, hey, what's this form coming out next week? It looks like Goku's about to get like a new form centered around Ultra Instinct, and then like the next day you get the scan from the magazine, like, bam, we got it right here, Mastered Ultra Instinct.
And that was Xenoverse said, "Hold my beer."
that was like our first viewing of it, not in the show. We still haven't actually seen it in the show. We don't know what it looks like on like in the show's animation style. We only know what it looks like purely in the animation style of the video game, and that's crazy to me. And it also got some extra like actual game changing stuff. So people are actually really liking it.
It looks very interesting, and if I had the game, I would probably check it out. What do you think about it?
I mean, how much does it cost? I think it costs like $15 for both extra packs.
But
so
like,
for
so
one
does
pack,
Golf Story. So if I'm gonna spend $15 on that, I'm always throw it at Golf Story first.
You act like you don't have $30. Like what is this?
I don't have $30, or I would have already gotten, or I would have like taken $10 from some random source and gotten I Am Setsuna.
Huh.
Like getting Xenoverse 2 again is far down on my list of priorities.
What you're saying is you're gonna buy it tonight.
No.
And then like you're gonna play Ultra Instinct Goku. No, you'll play True Fairy. You'll play Jiren.
Don't make me argue.
You'll just master Jiren.
I'll punch you in the boob. That character sucks and I hate him.
And then
Park Ranger 17 though, the strongest character in that game.
And then you're gonna cosplay as Jiren too.
No. First of all, no.
Come on, man.
Ew.
Come on, man.
Ew.
Come on, man.
But Park Ranger 17, the
You can just
strongest
shave
character
your
in
head.
that game? No.
Not the strongest character. He has like barely any changes. But
Other than
apparently
he's a
you
Park
get like
Ranger, that's the only change you need.
shut up. You get like some path changes you can do in like the story mode missions they add, where you can like choose where to go. And they've expanded on the mentor system, and you get like interesting. You get so much more stuff in the game that you can do now just based off of this one extra pack, which honestly came out of nowhere. Because the extra packs, like, I thought the DLC was done after 1, 2, 3, and 4. And
Yeah, I thought Xenoverse 2 was just dead.
yeah, because like Fighters is out now. It's weird to have 2 Dragon Ball games going on concurrently. And I mean, I guess it's fair because like there's walls you'll hit playing Fighters. Like if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you just think Dragon Ball games are fun to play. If you play Fighters, you might just like not have a good time. To the point where I was at GameStop recently, and all I remember someone was saying, "Why did they make fighters?" Like, I don't know. And I was like, "What do you mean, why did they make fighters?" It's like it's an excellent game. People really like it, and I'm pretty sure he was just having like a bad time playing it. And it's like, yeah, this game might not be for the average fan. So like having Xenoverse exist on the side for some people and throwing in like the new Tournament of Power stuff, like it's not a bad move.
Wait, what's the new Tournament of Power stuff?
Jiren, Master.
Oh, the characters. I thought there was just like an actual Tournament of Power arc thing going on. Dude, that would be pretty cool thinking about it.
Dumb.
Like, as an anime, as like part of the anime, it's a dumb idea, but like as a bunch of people just playing in the Tournament of Power and actually trying their best to survive a battle royale.
Oh, that's right.
What's right?
Super Saiyan Blue exists for custom characters now.
Oh, right. Which means if you like playing Saiyans, then you'll have a great time. But if you didn't, then you got nothing new.
I mean,
on that front.
At this point, most people who still play the game probably have one of each character.
Fair enough.
So, I believe it.
Also, it's not really Xenoverse's fault. There's not really much else for the other characters out there.
You can go from Golden Frieza to Bodied Frieza.
What?
I mean, that's all he does now. He just gets bodied. So, this is my new form. Bodied Frieza. And then immediately everyone just starts bodying him. And it's like you're not even pressing buttons on your controller. Your character just starts flying over to Frieza and bodying him. Unleashing the meanest of combos.
That's not a transformation.
It is a transformation. You go gold, and then the transformation gets triggered by you getting like a stamina breakdown on you, and then the character goes on autopilot and just starts bodying. And then like halfway through the match, you'll get up and be like, "Oh, how dare you disrespect me!" and then get bodied again, even worse than the first time.
Yeah, so I don't want that to be a thing because, people would just stop playing. Well, they wouldn't use the Golden Frieza form. They would just use whatever, like Kaioken or...
I mean,
come on. Potential.
It's the next transformation.
I want a transformation that gives me a Park Ranger outfit.
No.
Why? I want to be the strongest. Why won't you let me be the strongest, Jordan?
Because you're not the strongest.
Yeah, because I'm not a Park Ranger at the moment.
Park Rangers just die.
No, they don't.
He's dead.
They do a considerable amount of damage, and then
it was not considerable. It was a scratch on his back.
Yeah, and no one else was able to do it. Not unless there was some Ultra Instinct involved.
That doesn't make it considerable.
I consider it to be very strong damage.
That's not how it works.
What's
wrong with you?
And the only reason he died was because those two weaklings in the back, Vegeta and Goku, were just sitting there dying on the floor. He's like, I guess I'll die so I can heal these guys. Because, I might be strong, but Jiren's still some bullshit, and I can't really do much about that. So, we'll let the main character hacks guy over here just get some power left, or power back.
Even though it just crashed into the ground.
Even though if you just would have just said, like, oh, Goku got back up and got his stamina back, I wouldn't question it because he's already done it like 6 times.
No, he got back up and they said Goku's still out of stamina, but he still did whatever he wanted anyways.
Yeah, they could have just done that.
I can't believe he's using Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken while he's out of stamina. He must really respect Teflon.
He must really not know what stamina is.
Didn't he get like muscle, like just crazy, just like awful, like what is the word?
Contraction?
Yeah, spasms. Thank you. Spasms. Last time he did Kaioken.
Yeah, I was wondering when that was going to be a thing.
No, because he can do 20 now. He can do Kaioken times 20 in Super Saiyan Blue. Remember?
Yeah, but when he first did that,
he did 10.
No, I'm saying like when he first did that, the aftermath of that was like he would teleport to random places.
That was Kaioken Blue times 10. He does 20 now.
And he still doesn't just randomly teleport out of the ring?
Because he can do 20. Like, it's nothing. It's fine.
But, like, I feel like it's not how that works.
He trained off screen. He did dick.
No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't. The process of him, like, getting teammates, where did he train to be able to do Kaioken?
There was the whole Goku Black arc.
Did he train during that? Only Vegeta did.
I mean, there's time between Goku Black and the Tournament of Power. Like, there's considerable time. that we don't see.
I guess that's.
And then there's the whole Goku Black arc where there was times where they just weren't doing stuff that we don't know what they were doing. And somewhere between then to the Tournament of Power, Goku not only mastered Kaioken times 10, he mastered Kaioken times 20 in Super Saiyan Blue. Only so the first time we see Kaioken times 20 Super Saiyan Blue, we don't even know it happened. He already got beat. And they're just like, yeah, no, he already did that. And you're like, what? But like, where's the big red aura spike that covers the entire universe? Like, he did when he did 10. Shouldn't 20 even be even crazier? Shouldn't his aura go up to the fucking moon? Shouldn't this be cool? No. Fuck you.
Maybe he trained during that Barry arc.
What?
The Barry filler arc, where like Gohan was being a part of the Saiyaman movie, and Barry was being a dick the whole time, trying to get.
Yeah, I didn't watch that episode, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
It was a whole couple of episodes.
Yeah, I skipped that. I don't even know when that took place.
I think that took place after the Goku Black arc.
Are you sure? Once again, I have no fucking clue.
I'm not completely sure. It was either after that or after the Tournament 6 arc. So.
There's a lot of Dragon Ball Super that I didn't watch. Like, I didn't watch any of it till Goku Black, and I didn't watch half of the Goku Black arc. So I was like, okay. But then they were like, his hair's about to turn pink, and I was like, I'll turn this on. I'll watch what happens. And then he fucked up Vegeta so many times, it was hilarious.
I did the same thing where, I would just play it while I was at work, and if I saw or heard something interesting, then I'd be like, alright, I'll watch it when I get home.
But you don't know Japanese. It's just a bunch of random Japanese going on from here.
But it's Dragon Ball, so I know
what part of that turns interesting all of a sudden? Oh, he just said Subarashi. Now you have attention.
I said if I heard or saw something, if I heard Vegeto's voice, or if I saw Trunks' transformation, I would be like, yeah, I'll take this home and I'll watch it, see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. You may be full of shit. Sorry, what was that? What were we saying? Sorry, we're talking about something else now?
Something about Park Ranger 17 being
No, we're not. We're not talking
That's
about that. No, she doesn't.
I don't know what she's saying.
I know you're lying. Shit. Park Ranger 17. He just fucking died, okay?
Yeah, but did he really die?
Yes!
Is it really that big of a deal? It's not even consequential.
It is.
There's 3 magical dragons that can bring him back to life.
And no one said a damn thing about bringing him back.
Which is weird.
Nope.
Are we not gonna talk about how that's just not a thing?
Just leave him dead.
It's oh man, 17 died.
Fuck it, he's died. I'm not God. I ain't playing that shit.
They could have just had Dende. Wait, Slippery Kai is a god. There are 3 or 4 gods in that group of people.
Yeah, gods of destruction.
And Elder Kai and Supreme Kai.
Elder Kai's not really a Kai though. He's just an old man. Fused with some witchy bitch.
Yeah, but
apparently that was forever.
Yeah. Wait, how is it forever?
I know if there's a Kai fuses with someone, it's forever.
Yeah, but that was a witch.
Yeah, I don't know the specifics. So I'm gonna let Tessa run the podcast from here on. If you want to do it with her, she's got a lot to say. Well, my bad.
Yeah, why are you talking? She's obviously. There you go. Let them know. Let them know how dumb this series is. Got quiet real quick. She'll keep playing until we say something.
I'm not saying shit.
Oh man, that bird's stupid.
Is that it? Is that we call it twist now? It's this is a wonderful intermission. I really enjoyed this podcast.
You can just call it.
Just want everyone out there to know Rex from Xenoblade is a piece of trash character.
What was that phrase that you kept saying? Be brave, be bold, be cautious?
No, it's be brave, be bold, be careful.
Yes.
You have to pause. If you don't pause, it doesn't count.
Wait, you have to pause. I didn't know that.
I paused every time I said it. It's a joke?
I was just super confused as to what you were doing.
Shame on you.
Just what is he saying? Be brave.
Emerald City Comic Con has Kirby Star Allies and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for Switch playable? Oh,
Wait, wasn't Tropical Freeze the game that was on Wii U?
yeah, they remake it for the Switch.
Huh, okay.
Did you not know that?
No, I didn't.
Someone doesn't watch Nintendo Direct.
So the thing about it is that the reason why I haven't been buying a lot of games is just I've been so busy playing the one, which was Warframe and occasionally Overwatch.
Whoa, those are also 2 games.
I was gonna say Warframe the most. Like I was just gonna say Warframe, but that's a lie. And I realized I would be lying if I said that.
Yeah, so just watch you play that bullshit. Sorry, what?
You said start. Never mind.
What?
But there, like, once you get to a certain point in the game, you realize there's a lot more you can do. And then
In Warframe or in the other one?
in Warframe, like once you get to unlocking some of the junctions, you can do more quests. Then once you realize there's quests you can do with the syndicates, you can do their quests and get better weapons from them and augment mods or ability augments. So I've been just grinding it out in that game to the point where I've put in like 200 hours, 223 to be exact.
Cool boy.
So it's just been me playing that, and then there's a trading system where you don't have to put any money into the game to get platinum, which is just real money. And once you get once you grind enough for certain items, you can sell that for plat, and then that gives you enough resources to get warframe slots or buy weapon slots, so you can start getting more warframes and more weapons that you have to level up to 30. And then there's daily missions, which gives you these things called ribbon mods, which unlock once you do a certain task, like killing 60 enemies without hitting the ground or being stealthy throughout a whole mission. So it's things like that just has kept me occupied.
I mean, that game is designed purely to make you sink time into it. The more time you sink into it, the higher chance you'll save money.
Yeah. That's kind of why I haven't been spending money on other games, because I'm still playing this game.
But you should drop that game for a fun game.
But I have fun playing that game.
No, like a fun game.
Like
Golf Story?
I'm thinking about it.
Dragon Ball Fighters?
Maybe.
What is this maybe shit?
I don't know. I don't know how long I'd be playing Dragon Ball Fighters, based off of the few times I've played it.
What? Why is that?
Just, I haven't been able to get into fighting games just in general recently. Plus, with the whole auto combo system, I don't see myself not just going, I'm just going to throw auto combos and focus on being able to land said auto combos.
So you're saying your neutral game would be get to the auto combo, maximize auto combo, and end combo, back to neutral, aim for auto combo again?
Anytime I'm playing online, yes.
Why is that?
Because I don't know, I just don't feel that into just certain fighting games. It's just, alright, I just want this to be done. I just want to play it, and then, like, go back to playing something else. Or I'm not just focused.
Tragic!
Yeah, it sucks because it's a really good game, and fighting games in general are really fun. When you're into it. But I just haven't been able to get into fighting games in general.
So what you're saying is we should give teachers guns.
What? What?
That's not an answer, sir.
I'm confused as to how it led to fighting games are fun when you're into it to that.
That's not a yes or a no.
No! Don't give teachers guns.
But then who will defend the schools?
Security guards? Cops?
That didn't work last time.
Fire those guys because they didn't do a good job?
Excuse me. Sir, you need to calm down.
I'm just confused as to, like, what was the correlation?
Apparently there's another shooting reported in Georgia at a school. And there was
it in Florida?
No, that was an old one. I'm talking about a new one.
There was another one? Oh my god.
No one died this time, relax. But it was a teacher this time. That was the culprit.
I'm surprised it took this long for a teacher to just not be the person shooting people up.
There's so many other options. Anyways.
I'm like quitting, I know.
Anyways, Yeah, so I mean, do we still give teachers guns?
I said no before I heard that story.
So
So definitely no.
I see. Teachers, guns. Even teachers think it's a bad idea.
Well, yeah,
But the NRA would pay for it in full, and you would get a bonus if you're a teacher with a gun.
but I'm not a teacher.
It's not always about you. It's God damn it.
You're saying that's not even like a selling point for me. I don't know why you were telling me that. That does nothing for me.
No injuries responded. That's good though.
But yeah, I'm really surprised it took that long for a teacher to be.
You know, if you want Oprah to run for president, she has a message for you.
No.
God has to tell her to do it.
So what you're saying is I need to start praying that God doesn't tell Oprah shit.
What? Look, man, you're just not telling me you're not excited for 2020 to be Oprah versus Trump.
Or Kanye West. Because he said he was going to run in 2020.
Oprah versus Trump.
No. Please. Please, no.
Winfrey 2020.
Because that's how you get people reelected.
You think Oprah would lose to Donald Trump?
Yeah. I think Oprah would lose to Donald Trump.
I think you're mistaken.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't think Oprah would be necessarily a better president than Donald Trump, but she'll get in the bag because he's actually not likable. She's likable. People enjoy her for reasons unknown to me because I don't follow Oprah stuff. But she's like a well-liked person in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's problem last time was fuck Hillary Clinton. I don't like that bitch. She ain't trustworthy. Emails, other stuff, random vague reasoning that I don't really quite understand, but my gut says I shouldn't trust Hillary Clinton.
It's kind of weird that like no one actually tells you what the thing that made them not trust her. They just say look her up and the things that she's done. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm sure that's fine and all, but like if you would have just told me the answer, I would be like, oh, now I have a general idea. But no, you sound like you don't actually know the reason. You're just hating her because it's
cool. Happens like a lot. Hey, it's super weird. Like I don't mind that you don't like Hillary Clinton. You don't have to. But I would like you to be able to tell me with solid reasoning why you don't, so I can go, okay, it's fair. I can respect that.
And like Hillary Clinton, you probably could find something too, like easily. But like, could you tell me?
You could find something easily, but could you find it first?
Like, it's like, here's the thing. I'm just like, my opinion is I don't really care about it. And people were telling me, hey, you should not like her. I'm like, well, why?
That's a weird thing to tell another person. You shouldn't like that person. I don't care about that person. No, you have to actively dislike them.
Yeah, that's what I got a lot. And then they would just be like, what's up? And I'm just like, why don't you start this conversation with me? I'm just sitting here chilling, and you just, what do you think about her? I didn't vote for her in the primaries.
Hey, stay.
Okay.
There you go. That's all it's about. Just state votes 2018.
That's cool. She's probably have to look it up too.
I don't think she's happy about it.
Oh man.
Well, since like the second half of this podcast is 90% word screeching, what's our time stamp? What are we looking at?
An hour.
An hour? This one will be especially short compared to other ones, but that's fine. They don't always have to be super long.
Yeah.
So, guys, squawk swap, squawk swap, squawk swap, squawk swap, squawk swap, 2018 squawk.
Deep.